Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Scapenomics. Welcome back to another video, and in this one, I'm going to be showing you how to flip with a 50 million GP cash stack. Flipping with smaller cash stacks is significantly different now that real-time prices have come into the game, and I want to show you guys how to make the most of a smaller cash stack, so be sure to drop a like if you enjoyed this one, and let's get right into it. The audio quality on this one is a little bit lower as I recorded this on vacation, so please don't hate on me too much in the comments. With the real-time meta, you're looking to trade items quickly and use some of your open slots to sell half the quantity of the item as it comes in. We're going to showcase that in a minute here, but the most important thing is to have an item list. If you are new to flipping, you can check out our Discord group. We have a huge item list that includes a bunch of items that beginners can try out that are considered high volume items, which are super safe to flip. Enough of the chit chat though, let's hop right into the Grand Exchange and get some items flipped. We've got the green dragon leather listed, which is currently running us about a 7 GP margin, and it's flipping pretty quickly. If you're new to flipping, you're going to want to stick to high volume items with a 50 mil cash stack. High volume items are items in the game that are traded very frequently, that are a lot safer to flip than items that are not traded as much, as those items tend to fluctuate in price a little bit more. Open slots to sell half the quantity of the item as it comes in. We've got a few more items listed, and you might have noticed that I actually performed a margin check on all of these items. The reason I'm doing that, even though we are still in the real-time meta, is because by performing a margin check, you're going to get the most accurate margin at that point in time. So by paying a couple GP to actually get the most active margin, it's going to save you a lot of time and effort in the long run, as you'll know the exact prices to actually flip the item. And since they are high volume items, it's not really going to cost us that much money to actually margin check them. So if you are flipping high volume items with a 50 mil stack, I do recommend performing manual margin checks. As you can already see, it looks like someone is competing for our green dragon leather with possibly a higher margin. That's going to happen a lot in the new meta of flipping. With real-time prices available, item prices fluctuate constantly, and it's going to be more frustrating flipping even high volume items. So you have to make sure you're maintaining your flips very closely and staying on top of your margins. I typically don't let anything sit for more than about 4 or 5 minutes. But if I am flipping over a longer time frame, say 1 to 2 hours, I will let the buy offers fill up over that time frame. But if I'm going for an active flipping session, I don't want to let things sit for too long without readjusting the prices. Alright, we've got most of our money deployed here onto the exchange, and we actually did just have our green dragon leather continue to buy up, so we'll be very patient with that offer as well. When you're going to sell things back, I typically wait a little bit longer on the sell offer, as I do expect things to eventually swing up, especially when you're buying a quantity at the low end. So just be a little bit patient on those sell offers. We haven't had any black dragon leather come in, so we'll wait a little bit longer for that. Basically, we're in the stage of maintenance right now. We do have one open Grand Exchange slot that we could either flip another item in or continue to sell off some of the items that are filling up. But right now, we're just in the maintenance stage as we wait for some flips to finish. If you want to view real-time prices, my personal recommendation is GE Tracker. We are affiliated with them, so if you use my link in the description below, I do get a little bit of a kickback if you do decide to sign up for premium. So do check out GE Tracker, but I do like GE Tracker the most as it has the favorites feature, so you can easily build an item list to reference, and that's going to update with the real-time prices as well. So basically, you can favorite every item that you're flipping on the exchange, and in the next browser, you can just watch the item prices and make sure that none of your offers are actually getting price updated. That way you know if your margins are competitive or not. This is a really important step because what this actually allows you to do is succeed on your flips more than other flippers may be able to, and because of that, you're actually going to make more money per hour and you'll actually be ahead of the competition. Hey, if you are finding value from this video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe for more money making and flipping tips. Anyway, back to the video. Still waiting on that green dragon leather, but we decided to cancel the black dragon leather offer because we found a monster margin on the dragon javelins. I don't really know if that's actually going to hit or not, but we're definitely going to try to hit it, and we'll see if it works out. There we go. Our first flips have come through. The blood runes and the green dragon leather. Super, super nice. We're not finished on that green dragon leather yet, but we're going to continue to flip it to make some additional gains. So as you can see, we have to be very active when we are flipping with a 50 mil cash stack and using an active flipping strategy on the Grand Exchange. But we are making a decent bit of money right now. We're actually getting these blood runes bought and sold pretty quickly, which is making us a good bit of change. Very happy about that. And wow, we just filled another quantity actually, which is crazy. So we're gonna sell these back for 418, 4 GP margin on them right now. Really solid for a 50 mil stack. As you can see right now in my strategy, I'm staying very on top of my flips and I'm making sure that all of my offers are continuing to buy while I wait here. Now, if something stops buying or just doesn't start buying at all, I will usually wait about 5 minutes and then I'll rotate another item in its place and try to flip something else. Now, a big mistake I see a lot of new flippers making is they try to flip an item and they just wait and they keep chasing the margin and they try to finish it. Now, if an item is not buying up, just rotate to a different item and come back to that item you were trying to flip later. There's a ton of high volume items in this game, so that's why I'm so insistent on building a flipping list. That way you're staying extra efficient during your flipping sessions. So we have been flipping for a couple of minutes now, and another tip came to mind that I wanted to bring up is if a margin on an item is not that big and you have a small quantity of it, don't spend your entire Grand Exchange slot in like 10 minutes trying to sell the item. For example, we have 1,598 Amethyst Crystal, and currently right now, we're only getting about a 4 to 5 GP margin on them. It's really not worth trying to push for this margin. It's better if we just sell it for a lot less and just try to get it off as quickly as possible for a small gain. As you can see, we're doing our best to continuously actively update margins and be able to sell items. Currently, we've been flipping for about 36 minutes and we're averaging about 918k per hour, flipping basically high volume only, which is really, really nice. Doing super well right now from a profit standpoint. Another concern I wanted to clear up or question is, do I overcut or undercut on my buy and sell offers? And yes, I typically do as long as there is a big enough margin for me to capitalize on it. So I would say anything over 3GP is probably good to undercut or overcut. Besides that, you probably don't want to do it because the margin is just not big enough. You really don't want to flip anything that's under a 4GP margin, 3GP with the cuts. So just keep that in mind. By the way, I just realized that my mouse is not properly recording on my screen, so when I'm clicking things, it looks a little bit off on the recorder. So if you're mad about that, feel free to cry about it in the comments because I don't really care. Still flipping mid-session here, about 45 minutes in on this hour session. Not averaging as much profit as before, but staying very active on top of our margins. We basically just went around and reset everything as I'm looking through GE Tracker, trying to hunt down some great margins for us to flip, but everything is ultra competitive right now. Typically, I am flipping during my peak time, which is about 6 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. That's when we have the most people online playing RuneScape, when there's the most trades happening, and where there's the most competition as well. We are just wrapping up the session here. A lot of the stuff we are selling back right now because we're currently about at the hour mark with 671k in profit. I'm going to let the rest of this stuff sell off. Currently averaging about 681k an hour, and that's honestly not too bad. It's not as good as I was hoping for. Maybe it was just a bad day, but currently I think with the real-time meta and flipping with a 50 mil cash stack, realistically you're going to look at 600 to 800k an hour if you are new and sticking to high volume items. If you are slightly more advanced and you want to throw some medium volume items in there, you might be able to get lucky and push this up to 1 mil an hour. In the old flipping meta, when real-time prices were not available to use, I would have recommended flipping with a 50 mil cash stack compared to other moneymakers in game, but now I think the times have changed a little bit. If you have the stats and you've done it before, unlocking Dragon Slayer 2, getting access to Vorkath is a great moneymaker. Also, Zulrah is up there as well if you can handle it and you have the gear. Those moneymakers are going to be a little bit better and outpace flipping with a 50 mil cash stack, especially if you are new in the real-time meta. Now, there are nuances to that as well. If you're more experienced, maybe you know some tips and tricks to actually increase your profit per hour, but for the most part, you are going to be better off doing PVM and setting longer-term flips on the Grand Exchange. If you want to learn more about flipping over a longer time frame, be sure to check out my videos on passive flipping. You can find them on my channel. We'll also be releasing more of those here in the short future, as I know you guys are looking for those sorts of guides to increase your profit per hour while you play RuneScape. I don't know where the last clip went, but basically what we did is we let those flips sell back on the exchange for about an hour or two, and we came back and collected the money. We actually made 830K during our 1 hour session, as well as waiting for those items to sell afterwards. So we actually made a decent profit, but nothing too crazy. And this just goes to show how much different flipping with real-time prices is compared to how it used to be when your margins were more hidden. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Is this a lot of money? Is this just not enough money? Should you actively pursue active flipping with a 50 mil cash stack? Personally, I think there is opportunity to get over that 1 mil an hour mark, but it is definitely a lot more difficult than it used to be. I personally like to flip with 100 mil these days for real-time prices, but it definitely can be done with 50 mil. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all in the next video.